Morning. I'm sure it's hard to see the sky this early in the morning, especially with my phone too. It's not all that, powerful. But I was trying to share it with you because it's a beautiful sky. There's no clouds and there's no wind. It's dark because this is kind of typically when I wake up and head off to work. I'm walking to my bus stop right now, and I thought, well, I wanted to share some things that were on my mind. I was talking with someone recently. I actually helped mentor him, and we were talking about what's right, what's wrong, and what's bad, what's good when it comes to Christianity. And I was reminding him a lesson I've been trying to teach him, that it's not so much always about bad and good and right and wrong. It's not always about extremes. I think we get that mixed up about what spirituality is. Like, we feel like if we don't do everything exact as the way God would want us to, then we should be like feeling this sense of guilt. And I'm not saying that you don't get convicted, because those of us that have been following the Lord for a while, we know that's just part of the walk, if you will. But while you're learning, while you're trying to figure things out, I was telling him that it's really about choice. It's not about right and wrong and good and bad and God's way and society's way. It's about choice, that God lays out all these things, these principles, these commandments of life, and says, if you do these things, you'll get this kind of life. But if you don't, well, what can he do? Because as we know, God's grace is the power to choose, right? We all get to choose. And I think we forget that simple principle. If you've been following me and checked out some of my other videos and maybe even read some of my blogs, I try to keep things simple. I don't want to complicate things when it comes to spirituality, especially that, because we can go deep. We can make things really complicated. But to me, there's simple choices when it comes down to it, and one of them is always choice, right? God never really forces you to do anything. You can ignore the promptings and his Holy Spirit, his conviction. You don't have to do anything he says. But then you can't expect to have a peaceful life that's filled with love and wisdom if you're choosing not to follow him. That's just the way it works. It's funny how sometimes we spend so much time wondering, why, and not even look at what did we do to get here. Now, granted, there's a fine line to that, because sometimes God will bring us experiences to grow us. And again, that's still a choice, right? We can just either, rise up to the challenge and seek God's wisdom and love, or not, right? And just choose our way, or some, worldly way, or some other idea of what people want to do. I know from my experience, when people are treating me badly, some people want me to get revenge on them for some reason. And I'm like, man, that's not how I'm trying to live anymore. That's not the way I'm trying to spend my energy. Rather, I pray for that person that's trying to bring harm to me, and let God convict them as he sees fit. And it works, at least for me. I mean, that's what he asks us to do if you read his word. So anyway, for whatever this is worth, I just wanted to share that to you so that you keep things simple when it comes to following God. It's not about right and wrong and good and bad. This is about choice. It always comes down to choice. What do you want? Do you want the blessings that God will give you from choosing the things that he's trying to teach you, or not? All right, take care.